Anthropic has just released Claude Sonnet 4.5 and it's proven to be a game changer for anybody building automation workflows, especially in n8n, because you can now instantly generate them a lot easier. It's released as part of the Claude 4 family and represents a massive leap forward in AI capabilities, particularly when it comes to coding tasks and complex workflow generation. This isn't really just an incremental update, it's now the smartest model in Anthropic's lineup, and Anthropic itself is calling it the best coding model in the world and the strongest model for building complex agents. So we're about to test that in this video. It's the best model at using computers, and it shows substantial gains in reasoning and math. Those are some really big claims, and I have been able to generate a few agents with them, but we're going to be doing it live in this video. What makes Claude Sonnet 4.5 special is that it's dramatically increased the performance in technical domains. Compared to the previous versions like 3.7, this new iteration delivers superior code generation, better understanding of technical documentation, and enhanced ability to reason through multi-step automation workflows. The model is set to excel at parsing complex API documentation, understanding nested data structures, and generating production-ready code that actually works on the first try more often than not. So that means now for those of us building n8n workflows, making scenarios or Zapier automations, this means that we can now describe what we want in plain English and get back functional, well-structured workflows that require minimal debugging. Claude is set to be able to see better response times, more accurate code completion, better context retention across longer conversations, and more importantly, a deeper understanding of how different automation platforms structure their workflows. So Sonnet 4.5 can now handle significantly more complex prompts, maintain context about multiple integrations simultaneously, and generate workflows that include proper error handling, conditional logic, and data transformations right out the gate. So whether you're a seasoned automation engineer or just getting started with no-code tools, Claude Sonnet 4.5 is about to change how you approach workflow building entirely. So the CEO of Cursor said, we're seeing a state-of-the-art coding performance from Claude Sonnet 4.5 with significant improvements on longer horizon tasks. It reinforces why many developers using Cursor choose Claude for solving their most complex problems. And Mario Rodriguez, the Chief Product Officer of GitHub, states that Claude Sonnet 4.5 amplifies GitHub Copilot's core strengths. Our initial eval shows significant improvements in multi-step reasoning and code comprehension, enabling Copilot's agentic experiences to handle complex code-based spanning tasks better. So this sounds incredibly promising. Here's the misaligned behavior scores, which is basically scores based on behavior and simulated settings constructed by multiple frontier models. So here's it compared to Opus 1, Sonnet 4, Gemini 2.5. Okay, great. So the first thing that we want to do is we'll come back over to Claude. And right now I'm in projects. So for this project, I've already labeled the instructions. You are now acting as an advanced n8n workflow engineer and JSON configuration expert. This is from Sonnet 3.7. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come over here to the n8n documentation, and we'll just go ahead to the quick start. We'll come over here to the quick start guide. We'll just go ahead and copy and paste this documentation. So we'll come over here and add the text content, paste in that, the quick start guide. And we'll just name this n8n documentation. So what I want to do here is let's just create a simple email agent. So I want you to create an n8n AI agent that is able to grab all my emails and summarize them on trigger, with the trigger being a telegram bot. It should also be able to send emails on command using voice to text. Cool. So let's go ahead and see what Claude Sonnet 4.5 is able to generate us. So it's going ahead and it's breaking everything down that it wants. You want an n8n AI agent workflow that triggers via Telegram bot, correct? Retrieves all emails from account, correct? Summarizes the emails using AI, correct? Sends the summary back via Telegram, correct? And can also send emails based on commands received through Telegram. Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So that right there was incredibly resourceful of it. Step-by-step workflow logic. Main flow, Telegram trigger listens for incoming messages, voice to text conversion if voice message detected. Command router determines if user wants to summarize emails, send an email, other commands. Cool. So here, that's exactly what I'm looking for. This is what I wanted to do. Yes, exactly. Email, send and branch the text, send email command. Yes. Ready to generate JSON. Before I create JSON, I need a few clarifications to ensure accuracy. Right there, absolutely. So yes, we definitely do need to. So yes, definitely do need to say Gmail. I said email. It needs to be Gmail, and the AI model is going to be, of course, is going to be Claude. Cool. So let's go ahead and generate that workflow, and then we'll go ahead and drop it into our n8n workflow. So here it goes. It's running through that JSON. Starts off with the email assistant name, the Telegram bot node. Right here we have the Telegram trigger for the ID. The name of it is Telegram trigger, and the webhook right there, unique ID. The credentials and the APIs what I would go ahead and input. Cool. So it would check if it's a voice message and be able to transcribe it, I assume. So it would get the voice file, and then from that point download voice, transcribe the voice using Whisper. So yeah, here it goes, just ripping through it like never before, and ends off with the Telegram bot API. Okay, so it has generated this very extensive JSON. It's a lot longer than I thought it would be for what I presumed would be a simple agent, but we'll go ahead and we'll just copy this entire JSON into our n8n instance. And right here, it generated the entire workflow. So in less than 30 seconds, this has went ahead and generated me an entire workflow from scratch. And all I'll have to do from here is go ahead and start inputting all of my credentials one by one in order to get this working. I'll probably have to delete a couple nodes right here. It looks like this right here is just a ghost node, so I don't see any reason, any use case for that. But basically we would have our Telegram trigger right here, which would be based on the message, triggered on message. So whenever I'd send it a message via voice or text, and then it would check to see if it's voice or text. And if it is voice, then it would get the voice, file, and then it would download that voice file, and then it would go ahead and merge the voice text. But if it's not a voice file, it would just go straight ahead to extract the message data right there. So it did that perfectly. At that point, it would parse what you're asking for, parse the command intent, and then it would send it over to the command router, which is equal to summarize, and basically would summarize all of the content of the emails that are unread. And then at that point, it could check if it's valid. It could, if you asked for it to send an email, it would send that email right over here, and then it would confirm sent. All these right here so the workflow isn't perfect. It does need a little bit of work here. Let's go ahead and try something else, because that wasn't even a very good prompt whatsoever. I want you creative. That wasn't a great prompt. What I'm gonna do is, I went ahead and already screenshotted this particular workflow. Shout out to Nate Herc. Screenshotted this workflow, and I want to see if Sonnet 3.5 will be able to generate the entire JSON just from the screenshot, which you should be able to. Give me the JSON format of this n8n workflow exactly like you see it. So it's already analyzed exactly what the agent is. It says this is a LinkedIn content generation and posting automation with two parallel branches. So branch one would schedule the triggered content idea, and then branch two would focus on content creation and publishing, which is exactly what it is right here. So yeah, it's just running through the JSON, and we'll see what it generates right after. Okay, so the workflow extracted, it says how it works, morning it schedules. So it can even tell you exactly what the workflow does before it even generates it. It says triggers 3 times to generate content through early morning, past topics, limit, aggregate, combines all past topics into a content bundle, idea generator, split out. So it is a LinkedIn writer. OpenAI crafts a complete LinkedIn post with the research. This is it right here. Spat out the JSON for that. So let's go ahead and copy and paste this into our instance and see what it gives us. Okay, so it gave us our three triggers correctly. It gave us everything except the AI agents themselves. So what we would have to do is just replace these with actual AI agents. Because if you look at it right here, it's the idea generator, and the second agent below is the LinkedIn writer. And both of them are supposed to be open AI. Correct. So what we would do, okay, store posts with the Google Sheet right there. So we have the Google Sheet right here, tably spit out. Okay, perfect. So instead of this, what we'd need here is just the message model. And it would be an assistant, message to assistant, yep. And we could connect this right here. And then exactly like the other workflow, we'll just bring this down over here, connect that right there. Do not need a memory for that. And the tools, we don't need the tools, it's just message model. And then we could duplicate this actually. Then delete that, we'll bring this right over here instead. Now I think the reason why it's not pacing through perfectly is possibly because of the fact that I'm running this local. I'm running this locally, so I think that may have something to do with it. But nonetheless, it definitely spat out exactly what we were looking for, just apart from those two nodes. So that is a lot better than sitting here and going through each node one by one and picking them out. So if we come back over here and look at the agent that n8n built, we can see that it was replicated. We were able to replicate it almost immediately on our first attempt. So, and this is coming from an old project with Claude 3.7. So there still definitely is some tweaking to be done. But in terms of the speed that it generated everything, the ability of it to explain each portion of the AI agent and of course generate it simultaneously, I think that's very, very cool. I'm going to try something I tried with 3.7. It didn't work very well before, but we'll copy the entire transcript, and from the transcript alone I wanted to build me the agent from this video. So it's the exact same agent. I just want to see what the JSON spits out. So yeah, it says perfect. I'll build the exact LinkedIn content generation agent from the video that sold for $1,200. So yes, Claude does have the ability to generate agents from scratch. 4.5 does enhance that. So again, it claims that it has built out the agent. Why this sold for $1,200? Okay. This is the exact workflow from the video. Here's what makes it valuable. So it gave us a little summary of why it's valuable. And let's see, pro tips from the video, price based. Okay, that's cool. So we'll go ahead and copy this again. Come back over to this instant. We're gonna delete all this. And we're gonna paste this new workflow in. Okay, so it called the APIs, it called the HTTPS as opposed to just putting a normal AI agent node right there. So I mean, that's together. So if we come over here, definitely put the workflow together, but it is definitely a lot different from the original, from the transcript, but it was able to get the majority of everything out of the transcript. So what's the verdict here? Can Claude Sonnet 4.5 replace automation specialists yet? Not quite, in my personal opinion, but it's definitely getting there. What I found is that Claude can absolutely create a solid starting point, and with the right context and a well-structured prompt, it can generate about 70 to 80% of a working workflow. The remaining 20 to 30% would require actually connecting the required accounts, of course, debugging configuration issues, adjusting the data mappings, and testing and basically refining it. But it can get you just about 80% of the way there just off of a simple prompt. I believe the real value here is in dramatically reducing the time it takes to go from idea to prototype. What would normally take hours of planning and building, just took about 10 minutes today. So if you want to try this out for yourself with Claude Sonnet 4.5, make sure you give Claude comprehensive context about n8n, use a structured prompt with clear requirements, be prepared to debug and define the output, and test thoroughly before putting it into production. Because even though it's getting very close, it's not all the way there yet. So that's it for this video. If you're interested, make sure you join the school community where you learn about AI agents and how to build and sell them. Other than that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.